Hey there! Today we're going to be making some more wings. And what I have here is some angelina film. And this is the wing that I'll be making, and it's very, very simple. It's best when you're working on the second wing to measure that second wing against the first wing, so you know about how big to make it. And then just twist the wire. See, that's perfect. And then what we're going to do is just take this piece of the angelina film, and also I have found that this twinkle trim, it's basically like a kind of like a fake snowish type thing that you can find in the craft stores around Christmas time. And it's basically just ground up bits of plastic. Alright, so I'm going to put that there, close up the other side, and then what I have here is just a little craft sheet. I like to cut them down into smaller sizes so they're really easy to work with. And then I have a little miniature iron, and you can use any iron, but this is just nice to have in your craft room. So then I'm going to take it and just do this. I'm basically heating up that plastic and the angelina film and the little bits of iridescent strings that we stuck in there too. So about that long, then we check on it. And here it is. It often will switch over to the other side that's been getting the most heat, so then we just turn it over. Alright, that looks pretty good. Then if you want, you can actually go right on the film itself. Just be gentle. But I kind of like to do that because it gives it more texture. It really helps the film kind of snug up against those strings inside. It gives it a cool effect. Okay, so then we just simply cut out this piece. And it works best if you've got some nice scissors. I sell a pair on makingfairies.com that is really great to have for your wing making, so they're always sharp and ready to go. Alright. There we have it. Cute little wing. And then the difference between these two is I took my heat gun to this wing just to kind of help this plastic all kind of tighten up into place. And so if you have a heat gun, that works great. And then for the lower wing, we just repeat, use a little bit smaller wire, and then I like to kind of bend it down just a little bit so it looks like that. And then just do the same process again. Now the angelina fibers that look like this, I think they actually do a better job of this than these plastic shreds that I have from the craft store, because they tend to really make a fabric inside, but these also are giving it a cool look. So that's the fun part about making wings, is you can just experiment with whatever you like and always learn something new. Alright, and I've decided to make a third little wing for these. So both sides, there'll be like 6 total. It'll kind of go like that, because I just think that's cute. So I made this third loop that's just a little bit smaller than my second one. I'm going to put it down, add these plastics, cover it up, and hit it with the iron. And when I do this, I make sure that the edges are all fused together, because that's what helps the wing stay together. And then I will also show you how you can give the whole thing a coating that's going to keep it together and nice and sturdy. So flip sides. Alright, so there it is. Just need to trim it. Then I will show you how you coat them for extra strength as well. But before we do that, we're going to singe the edges just a little bit with the candle. Alright, then this is how we finish it up. Just take it near a candle, and that'll kind of singe all the sides. Just kind of got to play around with it to see where that heat is. Alright, and if you want to make holes in it, you can. You just kind of put it right over the top of that flame. I'm not going to do holes this time. And also, to be extra safe, it's good to use a hemostat, which is just this little silver, it's like a tweezer that stays locked. There we go. That was hot. So we just finish them all up like this. Looks like those little bits of plastic kind of catch on fire, so just use caution when you're doing this. Alright, and then one of my favorite things to use for sealing the wing is this triple thick, because it's almost like a resin, except it isn't. It's just a thick varnish. And so I just take it and just take the wing and dip it right in there. And then just pull it out and let it drizzle. And if you want, you could mix up a batch of your triple thick and add a Pearl-Ex powder or something to it to make it be nice and shiny. But that's how you do it, and then I'll just be turning this over and sticking it into a block of clay so it can have a place to kind of finish dripping and get all the excess off of it. So that's how it looks. And it will have this excess that comes down, but it's just going to drip on down the wire and be out of the way. So that's how it turned out. Pretty cool. Alright, so the last step with these little wings is to lay out our pieces. I just pulled them off of the piece of clay that I had them sitting in, and there's some bits that kind of stuck to it a little bit, but it pulls off really easily. So I'm just gonna set them out how I want them to go. It goes like this. And then I just kind of line them all up, and then I give it a twist and then switch to my needle nose pliers right away. So I can finish twisting it. And then I'm just going to let only 2 of the wires end up being down here. So on my other one, I can show you. Here's how it ended up. I've got 2 wires that are twisted together. The others are just looped around the end of this wing. And then that way, just fits right back into this hole in her back. And I use my drill bit that's the 1/32 of an inch size to just make those holes a little bit bigger back here. And it fits perfectly if you use the 20 gauge wing wire as well. So that's how those wings look. And now I just need to get some micro beads and dip them in and cover the top. And then to finish off these ends of the wings, you can use Fabri-Tac or the Ultimate glue. And what I'm going to do is just take the Fabri-Tac and put it here. And what I'm going to be doing this time is using just a little bit of feather from a boa that I have. And I'll have these on the shop too, so you can get just a little bit of feather look to them. And so what I'll do is first put a little bit of feather on. So I have a little glue there. And then I just want just a little pinch, just so it's not going to take away from it, but just going to make it look cute. There we go. And then I'll have to trim these because we don't want boa all over the place. So just take your fine little scissors and trim away any of the extra feather. It's probably best if you wait until it dries, and that way you can tell which is attached and which is not. Or if you're in a hurry like I usually am, then we can move on. And now I'm going to put on some beads to cover this wingtip. So I put more glue on. Then I like to keep my micro beads in these little baggies, because then I can just kind of stick it right in there. And then you see how I can just push the little beads up into place. Kind of just give it a squeeze while it's in there. And then also with this glue, you can kind of just form it however you need to. And I just try to give it a nice looking shape here. Then you want to let this harden, so let it sit for a couple hours, ideally overnight. But a couple hours is fine. You can just tell when it's hard and not squishing anymore like it is now. But that is how we make a cute little wing. Pretty easy, pretty fun. If you need microbeads, they're available at makingfairies.com, and so is the Ultimate Crafter's Glue, as well as everything you need to make these cute little wings. Have fun sculpting!